Morning, everybody. We're continuing our look at runners of the Bible. Today we're going to be looking at Zacchaeus, the wee little man. In Luke chapter 19, it tells his story. Uh, Jesus was going from town to town, and as he entered in through Jericho, Zacchaeus heard that he was coming. Now, Zacchaeus was a wealthy tax collector, chief tax collector, which means that he was pretty well despised by everybody that knew him other than maybe other tax collectors. In his days, he would probably be considered one of the worst offenders of the Jewish tradition, um, not only working for the Romans, but taking money that wasn't his from his Jewish brothers. And so, anyway, he's a despised person. He hears Jesus is coming, and the text says that he wanted to see who Jesus was, but because he was so short, he could not see over the crowd. So he ran ahead and climbed a sycamore fig tree to see him, since Jesus was coming that way. You see, Zacchaeus, we don't know what was going on in Zacchaeus' life, but for some reason he wanted to see Jesus. And he was a small man, and so he couldn't see over the crowd. So he ran ahead and climbed a tree. It seems interesting, since he was such a terrible person in that day, that he would want to see Jesus. But there must have been something attractive about Jesus that led Zacchaeus to want to see him. And it makes me wonder, what is it about Christianity? What is it about Christ that makes him attractive to people who are far away from him? And if we ask that question and we can think of some answers, then what is it about us, those that are Christ followers, that makes us attractive? Shouldn't people be running towards us, even those that are far away from Christ? And yet, the biggest knocks against Christianity have nothing to do with Jesus. It has everything to do with his Christians. I think it was Gandhi who once said, "I love your Jesus, I don't like your Christians." And I think that's a pretty well established thing here today, that many people don't want anything to do with Christ followers, Christians, because they've seen too many that aren't attractive. And I'm not talking about physical attractiveness. I'm talking about that don't represent Jesus really well. So my question to you today is, what is it about Jesus that made him attractive? And I'm not going to answer that question for you. That'd be too easy, right? I would encourage you, though, read through the Gospels. Look at what was it that drew people to Jesus and what pushed people away. Because Jesus wasn't all about the attractional model, of the sense that at times he told people, look, if you want to follow me, you're going to have to die. It wasn't about that, but he was always filled with grace and truth. And I want you to look through those stories and see what it was that made people like Zacchaeus run ahead to see Jesus. Of course, we know what happens at the end of this story, that Zacchaeus and Jesus have dinner together, and Zacchaeus is convicted to the heart, and he says, not only will I stop stealing money from people, I'm going to start paying it back. I'm going to pay 4 times what I've stolen from people. When we encounter Jesus, something powerful happens inside of us. It's something that we have to remember. It isn't just going to church. It isn't just saying a sinner's prayer. It isn't just those basic things. It's a life-changing, transformational relationship that we have, and it should be attractive to others. So what made Jesus attractive to others? And what is it that should be in us that should make us showing Jesus off? Some things to consider. Again, I encourage you to read through the gospel accounts, take some time, study the words. Look at those words in red, if your Bible has those, what Jesus actually said and what Jesus actually did. Look at his priorities. Look at the things that he made sure he had time to do, and make sure you do those same things. May God be near you this day. Keep on keeping on, church, and we'll talk to you later. God bless.